Hey guys, what is up? It's Dusty here, and welcome back to another crypto video. Today, we have a ton of stuff to discuss. You already see all the articles here over at the top, so sit around and enjoy the show. First of all, Mccaleb has sold 214 million XRP in the last 3 weeks. I personally believe that him running out of coins is an extremely nice thing to see. As an XRP holder, the least thing you want is one guy constantly pulling some extra downwards pressure onto the XRP price. And so once he runs out, I definitely think we have a little bit of an extra stimulus to go towards the upside. And I'm just quite excited for a guy who at the start had 9% of the entire supply to finally have sold everything. And I've told you guys before why I am not that bearish on this and why I actually think that him selling right now doesn't actually have that much of a negative effect. One of the things it comes down to is the fact that him selling would have happened eventually anyway, but him selling now is actually preventing him from making more money than he would have. To kind of put that into perspective, if he had kept his 9% of the entire supply and just held it on for the next couple of years, I do believe that he would have sold it eventually once XRP was, for example, at a way higher price. So him selling it now at 20 cents, 30 cents, and now again at 50 cents, I'm quite satisfied with that. So at least he doesn't make the same amount of money off of those coins as we will on average. Of course, he has a lot of coins though, so it's still a lot of money, but at least less than he could have gotten. That at least gets me going. All right, then, a lot of you guys have been asking me about the Ripple v. SEC lawsuit, but let me tell you, there's actually not been a single document filed in the entire last 7 days. So, if you were wondering about an update, there isn't any because there isn't any. There's nothing. We still have the schedule, but even that, this 18th, we should have gotten some documents from the SEC, but we didn't get them. I do wonder exactly when Ripple will let go of something, or maybe the SEC actually just gave Ripple these documents in the background and we don't get a formal document for it. There's a lot of things which could be going on. But some people are speculating that they're discussing a settlement in the background. Let me quickly tell you guys that even though those allegations are all allegations, literally, we can't say anything about them. What I can say is that the way it's currently looking, it's a little bit fishy that for 7 days, we haven't seen anything. It's the longest time in a very long while that there's been 7 days of quiet. I don't think we've seen that in months now. So to me, it's also interesting, but I'm not really too worried about it because I do think, again, that it will fix itself in due time. Then, as Bitcoin sinks to $28,000, top trader outlines best case scenario for the bulls. Northman trader Sven Henrich still sees a potential double bottom in the making. This article I actually quite liked. This analysis I also kind of liked because it actually is quite akin to what I was talking about a little bit earlier. So Northman is actually talking about a double bottom here at the basically dip at about the 25th. I'm not exactly sure what date this was anymore, 29th, 23rd of May. And right now, this is actually a significant difference, by the way, in terms of Bitcoin price. Right now, we have retouched again this support here of, I believe, the end of January. So the article is either a little bit outdated or it actually is confirming a double bottom that's significantly different in terms of real bottom. I mean, if you look at the bottom right there, if you really zoom into it a little bit, you can see this one ended at, what was it, like 30,000 something? I'm not exactly sure what the exact price was. And here we're seeing 28.5K. There's a pretty big difference right there as we're literally closing into this bottom. But the point being that we literally could, like most people have said, turn around from this point forward and start going bullish. The only thing I would like to point out is that we broke out towards the downside of any trend line that you would have drawn. Anything you could have drawn, we broke it to the downside. But if push comes to shove and we actually come back up just a little bit, we're just going sideways again. It literally wouldn't have looked like this was a big dip if we come back into the channel basically within the next couple of hours, within the next like day and a half or so. Did we see a death cross? Yes. On the simple MA, which is again different than the exponential moving average, we did see a death cross. On the exponential moving average, we'll most likely see it right around this time, like in an hour, or maybe we've already seen it by now, or maybe in a couple of hours from now. But then again, most of the price going down right now has to do with the China FUD, which I think is not really justified, as I've been explaining. Now, a couple of days ago, you might have actually told me on the 18th that, oh, yeah, Bitcoin is going down because of the S&P, or Bitcoin is going down because of something the Fed said. I mean, right now, I believe the Fed actually had a meeting, I believe it was today, but nothing that came out just quite now has actually hurted the S&P. And from that perspective, I'm also thinking maybe the S&P correlation is a little bit different than we anticipated. Because most of the time, the S&P and Bitcoin move in quite some unison, or at least whenever the S&P crashes, Bitcoin kind of sees the same fate. But now the S&P 500 is actually picking up the pace again, but Bitcoin isn't, which really does make me say that this crash here is nothing from like the bigger political parts. It mostly has to do with just China FUD. And this article here said that it's not only China and the banking, not only China and the mining, but also the stablecoin crash, where something we talked about a little bit earlier, the Titan token crash that Mark Cuban got hit by, has actually caused people to worry about more regulations in the stablecoin area, which again may lead to further dips down below. That's something I actually haven't thought about too much. That might be one little negative thing to think about. I'm not really too worried about that though, because I mean, Tether has had so much poop on top of its head that one will stay around for a little while, I think. Even though I'm not really a Tether fan, I do hold it. Even though I'm not really a USDC fan, I do hold it. I do think in the end, it will all be fine. But can I confirm for you guys? No, I can't really. I mean, it might have something to do with the dip as well. It might. Then the dip before the run, why we are headed for $250,000 per Bitcoin. I also should quickly tell you guys, I firmly believe that whatever we're seeing right now is a phase, so that we will eventually pick back up the pace and go to higher points that we have never witnessed before. And one of the things which has to do with that is actually the Taproot update or upgrade for Bitcoin. Back in 2017, when we had the SegWit upgrade for Bitcoin, there was actually a really big amount of debate about whether the update would be good upgrade, I should say. Now, what happened though is that over the next couple of months, from the point where it was introduced to the actual point of full upgraded status, the price of Bitcoin went up quite significantly. Many people are saying that right now, if you kind of follow the stock to flow model, follow the cycle of halvings and whatnot, that the price should actually react in sort of a similar fashion because the entire Bitcoin network is excited about it. Even though Bitcoin miners in China moved away, a lot of those guys will actually come back in. It's a temporary thing. A lot of the FUD is misplaced, and if you start to think about it, an upgrade to Bitcoin, you really can't say anything negative about it. It should help the price do better, since people should have more faith in Bitcoin then, if again, there's an upgrade, helping out smart contracts and whatnot, taking some big steps right there. So, of course, we also have the El Salvador news. We have so much bullish news. So much. Even though Mark Cuban lost some money and some people have sold their crypto over the last couple of days, like Jim Cramer, in the end, he said that he will actually buy again some Bitcoin if it dips towards the 10K level. It's actually pretty funny, huh? It's pretty funny how that little story goes. The Chinese don't want billionaires in America to control a rival currency to their own, says Jim Cramer on Bitcoin. I would go back in if I get it back in 10,000, 11,000, and 12,000. Funny how that goes, huh? He also knows the Chinese don't want billionaires in America to control a rival currency to their own. What that is referring to is right now, a lot of the Chinese miners are moving over to America too. One thing that's happening right there, right? So eventually, America will actually have more control over Bitcoin than China because they banned it. So China might actually have a second thought. China might actually change their mind like they've done a couple of times now throughout the years, but also, obviously China wants to have full focus on their CBDC right now. And again, Bitcoin could be a little bit of a counter to all of that. They even, China, like we said in the previous video, opened the new anti-Bitcoin alliance with the Chinese banks and Alipay and WePay or whatever the freaking name for that one is. They're really going heavily against it. So I'm thinking China might actually play a big role in getting these dips going or getting the price manipulated towards the downside, because that literally helps them control it. The more lower the price goes, the more people fear it, the more people will most likely get out. And the harder it crashes, the better for them to control everything, right? Fear is what gets you control. We talked about that really often. I don't want to go really deep into that one, but fear helps very much with control. Trust me on that one. Now, Ripple price analysis following a 35% weekly crash. XRP is testing the 2019 support high. Let's actually say that a different way around. XRP is testing support at the 2019 highs. We are seeing some support being hit again. I'm just going to tell you guys straight at the bat here. XRP is following Bitcoin. I don't care really what support it hits. Most analysts are just plain wrong about XRP and where it can go. I'm not going to follow anybody who's telling me that point is going to be hit. I wait, I buy the dip. I wait, I buy the dip. That's how I go about these things. What you should do, I have no clue. Do whatever you want. But I am buying the dip as much as I can. Here's, for example, another article which claimed, can Ripple, already kind of a wrong characterization of the crypto because it's XRP, can Ripple break below 55 cents significant event level? Well, if you look at his charts here, he said either will bounce from 55 cents back up or come back down like anybody. But his area of interest was 45, 46 cents. Well, I don't know if you guys actually saw the big bounce that we got there, but it was at about 51 cents. So, yeah, he was, he said something, but it really didn't have any relevance whatsoever because we went to a different area than he specified. So, unless we go to about 45, 46 cents or back to this area pretty soon here, well, all that he said here had no relevance whatsoever then because he was plain wrong. You might say, oh, no, he was wrong. And then the swan dive continues in XRP after the breakout, but will 50 cents hold? All I can say about this one is let us see. All right, 50 cents right now, really important level, 51 cents we hit. Let us see. I will not tell you guys anything because we should wait it out. And I've told you guys as well, I'll just be buying if we go lower anyway in a DCA type of fashion. If you don't know what DCA is, look it up, dollar cost average. It's what I go about. But yeah, that was it for today's video. Hopefully you all enjoyed it. We covered a lot of stuff, but I even have more stuff to cover. I'm not sure how many videos we have today. There's so much stuff going on, but guys, thank you all for watching this video. Hopefully you enjoyed it. Make sure you subscribe to the channel if you did or you want to see more of these. I'm going to post another video in a couple of hours. And maybe the like button too if you enjoyed it. See you guys again in another crypto video later today.